up-to-the-minute news on local and international maritime trade. It's Nimasa this week. Hello and welcome. My name is Iretiola Doyle. Now this week we lead with the story that President Goodluck Jonathan, GCFR, has approved the reappointment of Mr. Ziakede Patrick Akpobulokemi as the DG and Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, Nimasa, for another 4-year term. The appointment was confirmed via a letter dated October 13, 2014, signed by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator Pius Ayim, and takes effect from December 23, 2014. Our correspondent, Rachel Ubani, reports.
On assumption of office about 4 years ago, Ziakede Patrick Akpobulokemi was given one mandate by President Goodluck Jonathan in line with his principal agenda of national economic transformation. The task was simple and clear: to transform the Nigerian maritime sector. Realizing the onerous task before him, Ziakede Patrick Akpobulokemi, together with his management team, crafted a 4-point agenda strategically designed to tackle the capacity gaps in the maritime sector and, most importantly, fast-track the development of the maritime sector towards growing the Nigerian economy. His efforts resulted in a new wave of improved maritime safety and security, creating an enabling environment for maritime business, a remarkable development that has been widely acknowledged by the International Maritime Organization and maritime stakeholders.
Contrary to the impression that a lot of people, especially the maritime stakeholders, had initially after his appointment as the DG of Nimasa, that he would not be able to perform or be efficient on the job, he had actually done a lot of things that had convinced a lot of people that he can actually get the job done. For instance, I mentioned the fight against piracy and also unlawful acts in our waters and also off our coast.
Under Akpobulokemi's watch, priority attention was given to both infrastructural and human capital development. This was because he identified the fact that a well-trained workforce provides the ingredient for a highly productive workforce. The successes recorded in the Nigerian Seafarers Development Program (NSDP), designed by Nimasa to grow capacity to fill the existing gaps for qualified manpower in the maritime sector, with over 2,500 Nigerian youths who are beneficiaries of different levels of sponsorship in reputable maritime universities in the United Kingdom, Philippines, India, Egypt, and Romania, exhibits the passionate commitment with which Mr. Akpobulokemi has driven the program, a feat which earned him more commendation from industry players.
I'm not somebody who praises, but let's give the dues to those that is the first DG that came to ISA on resumption of office, came to us to come and say, let us work together. He's doing what's supposed to be done to improve all the rot. It's not the one that caused it. He has done well.
Ziakede Patrick Akpobulokemi's capacity building efforts have also been displayed in the setting up of institutes of maritime studies in the University of Lagos, University of Nigeria Nsukka, Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida University, Lapai, Niger State, and Niger Delta University, Bayelsa State, as well as the establishment of a Nigerian Maritime University and Nimasa Shipyard and Dockyard in Okerenkoko, and Nimasa Science and Technical College in Okoloba, Delta State.
Well, I'm very impressed with what the President Director General of Nimasa is doing, because they seem more focused and they feel very determined. And this is the first time that kind of innovation has come into the sector. So I commend the efforts of the present leadership of Nimasa. So I'm very proud of what I'm seeing.
The icing on his cake and indeed a feather to his cap of achievements was added during the historic groundbreaking ceremonies of the Maritime University and the Nimasa Shipyard and Dockyard in Okerenkoko, Delta State, performed by President Goodluck Jonathan, an unprecedented feat in the history of the agency and the Nigerian maritime sector.
For the Ministry of Transport, thank the Minister, the Camps, Permanent Secretary and other management staff of the Ministry, and the Chairman of the Board of Nimasa, the DG, and all their team for bringing us today. Yes, I'm praying because I'm establishing a university here. But if they did not work hard to bring that person.
One major achievement that will be talked about for a very long time in the annals of the maritime industry was the role played by the DG Nimasa, Mr. Ziakere Patrick Akpobolo-Kemi, towards the entry into force of the MLC 2006 in Nigeria.
It's a big relief to the millions of Nigerian seafarers, whom I believe should be very grateful to Nimasa and to the DG in particular, who has put in so much commitment and sacrifice to ensure that this thing has been done. And I believe that his name should be printed in gold for making that achievement that will bring improvement to the millions of Nigerian seafarers and other seafarers worldwide.
With Akpobolo-Kemi steering the ship, Nimasa achieved full maritime domain awareness through enhanced surveillance of the maritime domain with the introduction of a satellite surveillance system which covers the entire Gulf of Guinea and beyond. The agency also procured various platforms and electronic surveillance equipment through a public-private partnership arrangement for around-the-clock monitoring of the maritime space. The launch of the satellite surveillance system has been described by industry players as a phenomenal breakthrough.
A lot of people say that the present administration of Nimasa their performance and their achievements unparalleled in the history of the industry. The DG Patrick Akpobolo-Kemi has done so much for that industry, and there are enough milestones to show, to be proud of on what he is doing.
The launch of several innovative programs, including online verification of seafarer certificates, online sailing certificates, and ship manifest, as well as automating the process of ship registration in Nigeria under Akpobolo-Kemi's leadership, has kept accolades pouring in.
It is for his accomplishments as Nigeria's top maritime manager, game changer and change agent of our time that the editorial board of Hallmark newspaper chose him as one of the greatest Nigerians in 2012 and co-recipient of Hallmark Award of Public Service.
These achievements have not only earned him awards from different quarters, but has also drawn commendation from Nimasa's sister agency, the Nigerian Shippers Council.
Nimasa has proven itself as a world agency. It has been acknowledged and appreciated globally. It is a manifestation of a character of responsible leadership. It's also a testimony that Nigeria is blessed with management, core management who can transform their country.
With his stellar performance during his 4-year term, the news of his reappointment by the President Goodluck Jonathan administration for another 4-year term came as no surprise. For as the local parlance says, the reward for hard work is more work. The maritime community and indeed Nigerians are confident that Mr. Ziakere Patrick Akpobolo-Kemi will consolidate on the gains recorded in the past 4 years and place the Nigerian maritime industry among the Committee of Nations. For Mr. Ziakere Patrick Akpobolo-Kemi, his commitment to fulfilling and surpassing the benchmark set for the agency is unwavering.
We should demonstrate to the law our resolve that we are not only just going to be talking tigers, paper tigers, we are going to be action tigers too. So whatever we say, we implement. Whatever we conceptualize, we put into practical reality. So that people should know that the days where the Maritime Administration was seen as a contract awarding agency to a full-fledged regulatory agency.
Mr. Ziakere Patrick Akpobulukemi holds a Bachelor of Science and an MBA degree in marketing from the Rivers State University of Science and Technology. He attended several management courses at the prestigious Harvard University in the United States and the said Business School in Oxford University, United Kingdom, among others.
Marine notice from the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency Nimasa. Withdrawal of maritime services from port facilities found to be non-compliant with the provisions of the International Ship and Port Facility Security ISPS Code. Pursuant to the agency's regulatory mandate as a designated authority for the implementation of the International Ship and Port Facility Security ISPS Code in Nigeria, and in line with its functions, the general public is hereby informed as follows. That having exhausted all intermediate measures to compel deficient port facilities to address identified areas of non-compliance with the ISPS code, the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency Nimasa has commenced the withdrawal of maritime services from such port facilities, terminals and jetties. That the withdrawal of maritime services, which implies the stoppage of ship calls at such facilities, shall remain in place until the designated authority is satisfied that minimum requirements for compliance with the ISPS code have been met. All port facility owners, operators are therefore advised and should be guided accordingly. For further information or clarification, please contact Secretary ICIC via email isps.icic@nimasa.gov.ng or call the number 0803 497 5876. Signed, Management.
Nimasa has emphasized the need for cooperation between international oil companies and the agency to ensure safe and secure shipping as well as a cleaner marine environment in line with global best practices. This was reiterated by the DG and Chief Executive Officer of Nimasa, Mr. Ziakere Patrick Akpobulukemi, while playing host to members of the oil-producing trade section of the Lagos Chambers of Commerce at the Nimasa corporate headquarters in Lagos recently. This report is presented from our studios.
As an agency of government regulating what is arguably the most intensive sector of the country's economy, the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency Nimasa has invested a reasonable volume of its time and resources in advocacy initiatives and has demonstrated the significance of partnership through the many existing collaborations with different levels of stakeholders in the maritime sector. In line with its principle of synergy and cooperation, Nimasa recently played host to the members of the Oil Producing Trade Section, OPTS, of the Lagos Chambers of Commerce and Industry at the Nimasa's corporate headquarters in Lagos. The caliber of the Nimasa team, led by the Director General of Nimasa, Mr. Ziakere Patrick Akpobulukemi, alongside other key staff of the agency, underscored the importance of the visit. The Oil Producing Trade Section, OPTS, of the Lagos Chambers of Commerce is a coalition of major players in the oil and gas business, and they account for over 80% of Nigeria's annual revenues from the oil and gas sector. While delivering his opening remarks, the chairman of OPTS, Cyril Pagano, stated the objectives of the group and lauded the various initiatives embarked upon by Nimasa to transform the maritime sector. He therefore called for greater collaborations between Nimasa and his organization in order to achieve meaningful development in the sector.
One of our objectives is to strengthen the long-term health of the oil and gas industry, especially because of the importance it is having in the Nigerian economy. And we want to do that by working closely with the relevant organs and agencies of government. So again, there are areas of mutual benefit if we talk together, if we have a chance to meet from time to time, because indeed we can share.
In his response, the Director General Nimasa, Mr. Ziakede Patrick Akpobulakaimi, highlighted the enormity of the agency's responsibilities and emphasized the need for cooperation between the IOCs and the agency to ensure safe and secure maritime domain and effective management of our marine environments.
Nimasa, by virtue of the laws that established the agency, we have so many responsibilities. These responsibilities are so enormous that we need the cooperation of all Nigerians, the private sector, the business people, to assist us to succeed.
Speaking further, the Director General said that the agency will continue to support the IOCs because of their strategic importance to the economy of the nation. He however enjoined them to cooperate with the agency and refrain from any acts that would jeopardize the relationship being nurtured by both parties.
It means that the only way I can do my job very well here is by the level of cooperation I get from you, and the only way you can also succeed as a business firm or as business firms is the level of cooperation you can get from the matter. So it's a symbiotic relationship, give and take. And what I want to suggest is that going forward, that is the way we should see ourselves. I should not see you as a problem, but I should see you as a solution to the general objective the government desires for the country.
The Executive Director, Maritime Safety and Shipping Development, Ezekiel Bala Agaba, spoke on the modalities that will harmonize the working relationship between the two organizations.
I know the problems you have with SCP when you convey government officials, so we'll give you time to sort for the approval, and then within reasonable limit, and we'll give you enough time, and then give you the names so that when we require that we must go on board the platform or an LPSO for inspection, it will be guaranteed.
Vital issues that may hinder the boarding partnership were raised and possible solutions preferred by both parties. At the end of the meeting, it was agreed that the technical committee be inaugurated with members drawn from both parties to smoothen the grey areas and formulate guidelines that will strengthen the partnership between Nimasa and the international oil companies.
Marine notice. Search and rescue emergency numbers. Pursuant to the agency's statutory mandate to ensure the safety of lives and property in the Nigerian maritime domain, notice is hereby given that reporting of all maritime incidences is now mandatory, and as such, the agency's Regional Maritime Coordination Center is to be contacted on the following emergency telephone lines: 07 0007 00010 and 07 0007 00020. Signed, Management.
The need to synergize and integrate resources within our maritime domain towards achieving effective emergency response is what gave birth to the Maritime Security and Safety Seminar that took place recently. Now, Nimasa was part of that seminar that had major maritime stakeholders in attendance. Our waterways correspondent, Amanda Akwa, was present, and here reports.
Piracy is considered a serious problem by government and the shipping industry alike. It has been a major threat since the early 21st century. Since 2005, several international organizations, including the International Maritime Organization, have expressed concern over the rise in the act of piracy because of the threat it poses to the safety of vessels, their crew members, and most especially the economy of the affected countries. Piracy in the Gulf of Guinea has affected a number of countries in West Africa, as well as the wider international communities. They are often part of heavily armed criminal enterprises who employ violent methods to steal oil cargo. In order to find lasting solution to piracy and other maritime crimes in the Nigerian territorial waters, a symposium was organized recently and had in attendance experts with provisions of security in the maritime industry to address the issue of maritime insecurity and sea robbery. Professor Charles Okeje spoke on the economic implications of piracy and other crimes to the maritime industry and the nation's economy at large.
We know that there's been huge investment in security, but it was only in recent times. I think part of the reasons why it has taken so long for us to come to terms with the fact that the maritime domain is vulnerable is partly because the mindset of policymakers has been the kind of landlocked mentality. The notion of security is taken as security on land rather than on water.
In the same vein, Nimasa's representative at the symposium, Engineer Vincent Udoye, expatiated on Nimasa's perspectives on the issue of piracy and the success story of the agency in curbing the rate of piracy in the Nigerian maritime domain.
In Nimasa, we realize that we need to know what is out there in the maritime domain. If we are completely blind, we don't know what is happening, we may not be able to intervene. And so we went into acquiring a satellite surveillance system to be able to see what is out there. And then secondly, if you can see what is out there and you don't have any means to interdict or anything like that, it being seen it is useless. So we went into an MOU with the Nigerian Navy, and as a matter of fact, a detachment of the Navy is stationed inside Nimasa.
As the Nigerian Waterway Authority, the Maritime Police Command, the Nigerian Navy, the Nigerian Immigration Service, the Nigerian Customs Service, the Nigerian Police, amongst others, are saddled with the responsibilities of protecting our vast maritime assets as well as lives at sea. In the process of carrying out their duties, these security personnel encountered numerous challenges. These challenges encountered was one of the issues raised and deliberated on by the Commission of Police Port Authority Western Command, CP Hilda Harrison.
Intelligence gathering that we'll be talking about, that there is need for all agencies to synergize so that we can harmonize information and intelligence to nip in the bud activities of criminals on our waterways.
With the numerous challenges mentioned, Nimasa, the agency responsible for regulating all maritime activities in the country, has taken the bold step in ensuring that the rate of pirate attacks on vessels in our territorial waters is reduced. With the rate at which Nimasa is putting together the necessary platforms to fight piracy and provide maritime security, the future of the Nigerian maritime domain is guaranteed.
With this system now we know where every ship is inside our water, so if there is any problem, we now know how to respond. We also want to tell the world that we're doing everything we can to ensure that Nigerian waters are safe for business. And we also want to ensure that bringing down the security risk will also bring down their cost of operation. And that was one of the main purposes of establishing this system.
Nimasa, Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency. For Obonga shipping registration, no. Nimasa, commercial shipping, no. Nimasa, Maritime labor
The Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, Nimasa, the nation's maritime watchdog, established to promote maritime safety, security, commercial shipping, and regulate maritime pollution. Nimasa is well positioned and committed to take the development and standardization of Nigeria's maritime industry to greater heights. Are you interested in the local or international commercial shipping business or in seafaring and do not know what to do or how to go about it? Nimasa will guide and see you through. Sea pirates, oil thieves, and all forms of dubious and illegal business on Nigeria's maritime domain have no hiding place because Nimasa's eagle eyes will locate or catch up with you. For Nimasa, it is zero tolerance to sea pollution as all abandoned ships and wrecks on Nigeria's waterways which pose danger to sea transportation will be cleared. Nimasa, promoting safe and secure maritime environment.
There's no gainsaying that hard work will definitely be rewarded. Once again, congratulations to the DG and Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Zakide Patrick Akpobolo-Kemi, on his reappointment. May you never tire. And so we come to the end of this week's edition of our show. As always, Nimasa this week is interactive. We want to respond to your questions, your comments, and even your criticisms. All you need to do is to send an email to the address currently showing on your screen. Now, we shall be here, same time, same station next week. Until then, we're wishing you smooth sailing and bon voyage.